Welcome to On the Way to School, your 6-minute daily boost for educators and administrators. I'm Christopher S. Dennis, and today, let's elevate our journey together. Hey, party people. Welcome back to the ride. I hope you are excited and engaged this Monday on the way to school. I'm happy to be back with you after a fun-filled weekend. We had a couple things going on. We had a homecoming carnival at work, and then we had a huge gathering and picnic for Private School Village, which was phenomenal. Both of them were phenomenal. At school, we had volleyball under the stars, volleyball on a court that was placed on the football field for our varsity and JV women's volleyball, and they did a great job, fought hard. It was acknowledged as the game of the week. So really cool experiences happening all the way around. So I hope you all had a chance to have some really good experiences this weekend as well. Today, I want to talk to you about something I call leadership fret, which essentially I would say involves balancing, the weight of responsibility and execution with just overall peace and just like clarity. So if you're familiar with fret, it could be anything. It's like, if you have an event or a party that starts at 8:00, at 7:45, you're kind of pacing and wondering, are people going to show up? Is anybody coming? Did I do everything right? Is everything going to work out? What's going on? So as administrators, as we get more and more comfortable with delegating and supporting our team, you're going to have to manage fret or fretting, that anxiety before things are taking place. So for me, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, we tried something new at work where we made an inclusive experience for our family affinity groups. And usually each group has their own weekend or half of a Saturday where they get a portion of campus and everybody comes to celebrate in allyship of that identity. And, there are a couple reasons why we needed to consolidate, but the most important thing is that we realized that if you were not a member of a particular group, you wouldn't necessarily have an opportunity to maximize the beauty of celebrating in solidarity. So we wanted to consolidate those things to maximize solidarity, and it's more efficient of people's time, and it's better on our budget. So, my team put together this amazing collaborative event, and it was really important for me to support the planning, but on the day of, to get out of the way, because just by being around during the setup, those 2 hours of the setup before the event, my presence won't necessarily be as productive as I can as far as just being there to celebrate and support a plan while it's being executed. So, for example, folks would potentially ask, is this okay over here? Or ask me to make decisions that are already made, and also ask me to make decisions when the person who has been charged with making that decision has already made the decision. So I need to be out of the space in order to support my team. So I spent, the first, 40 minutes as the event got started or rolling into the start, managing my fret, of, not wanting to get out there and be a focal point, because sometimes as a leader, just because you're there, people just go to you. They can just go to you just to strike up conversation, or they can go to you to problem solve. And I did not want to disrupt my team's success by being around and perpetuating a larger sense of just, a fret and frenzy. So if you are a leader and you are supporting your staff, there are three things I think we should think about when we manage fret. And maybe you call it something else, but I'm calling it fret because it feels appropriate. So the first thing is to make sure you've prioritized delegation and trust, because if you've done this successfully, you have no need to oversee every detail. Okay. your team is trusted, they have shared ownership of the event, and they will be accountable to the decisions they make, and you can support them through that. And as a leader, you can reduce personal stress and strain while gaining confidence in your team's abilities if you just prioritize the delegation and trust and step back from the frenzied startup of any event or program, even initiative. Also, embrace the strategic decisions that have already been made. Okay. So even if something goes bump during the day, instead of reacting to every issue, lean back into the energy of the planning process and the decision-making steps that were used. So what were the systems to settle multiple good ideas during the planning process? Refer back to those when a challenge comes up. And everything doesn't need immediate attention. Okay. So the constant worrying over the decisions that need to get made or things that come up, you're not being strategic. So you've got to go back and embrace those decision-making steps that you all agreed on. And then finally, leaders, we suffer from burnout and mental fatigue. So you've got to be able to know that managing your fret is an investment in self-care and being mindful. Okay. So what are the things you can do before the event to manage your stress, remain calm? For me, it was, sit at my desk, have my door open. And as folks were coming in, they knew where to find me when they needed me. And it wasn't so that I was available to everyone at the event. I was only available to my team of leaders that were actually executing the event. They know that if there was anything that they felt was at that level, that I was over here, they could come to me there and get the information. I wasn't micromanaging. I didn't go behind them. I didn't ask questions that were just not going to help the productivity of the event. It was really making sure I took care of myself so that I could be in the best place to offer leadership and advice. So I think those are a couple layers of support that I think are helpful. Prioritize delegation and trust, embrace the strategic decision-making process, and invest in your just own care and management so that you're not offering additional stress and strain. So, and ultimately for us, the event was a huge success. And of course, we've got a lot of things that we could learn from, but I think it's really important and special that we acknowledge, like, we all get a little anxiety. We all get a little excited before an event. And it's important to just know that, hey, you've got the right people in place. They know what they're doing. And if you step back and let them do their thing, you get to truly applaud and clap, and they'll learn more from that sense of shared ownership. So anyway, hopefully this is helpful, and I want you to have the best week ever, and happy Monday on the way to school. Thanks for joining me on the way to school. Stay inspired, stay motivated, and keep making a difference. I'm Christopher S. Dennis. See you tomorrow.